accurate, reliable. Here's your ABC6 Storm Tracker forecast.
For a while, we've been looking at Irene on the satellite imagery, but now the Doppler radars are picking up on the circulation of this storm. Notice the rain bands already moving inland in the Carolinas. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts at a buoy offshore of South Carolina, picking up on some wind gusts near 40 miles per hour right now just south of Cape Hatteras. The storm is moving to the north right now, even well to the south of the storm, still picking up on some gusts of around 40 miles per hour. This is based on the current forecast, and these are the storm threats. Flooding, rain, lowered it a little bit. There'll be some street flooding unless there's a shift in the track farther to the east. We are going to be spared the worst of the flooding rain. I don't expect a lot of river flooding, maybe a little bit of street and stream flooding, especially in western Rhode Island and in eastern Connecticut. If the track shifts, though, farther to the east, that would bring the heavier rain our way. The wind damage and power outage threat bar is not quite at the highest level because the storm has weakened some today, but it is still certainly above the moderate level. And coastal flooding, again, a real concern with this storm, even though it's not going to be the most intense hurricane as it moves across Long Island Sound and heads into southern New England through Long Island Sound and into Connecticut. Temperatures right now are in the low to mid 80s in some places. 82 right now, Providence, 84 for New Bedford. The wind is coming in out of the south at 10 miles per hour. It is muggy out there, not as oppressively humid as it was yesterday. There's a good look at Irene right now. This storm is huge. It's spinning up the eastern seaboard. It's going to kind of just wobble right along and move just over eastern Carolina, eastern North Carolina, and then move right up the Atlantic seaboard and come reasonably close to southeastern New England, a little too close for comfort actually, so that's why we've been telling you to prepare during the course of the week. There you see the storm racing off to the northeast, that cone of uncertainty narrowing in, and the storm track will be to the west of Providence. That's the way it certainly appears right now. 2 o'clock Sunday morning, winds of 80 miles per hour. That is when it is down and moving just east of the Chesapeake Bay. And then by Sunday afternoon, it's a tropical storm with winds of 70 miles per hour. So landfall has moved up a little bit from later in the day on Sunday. This storm will likely be making landfall sometime around midday on Sunday. That is different from what we were projecting a little bit earlier on. So we are anticipating this storm moving in a little more quickly, which means that tomorrow night the conditions will get worse a little quicker as well. This is tomorrow evening. Notice the showers coming in, temperatures in the 70s, and that rain picking up late tomorrow night. The wind picking up as well. Some wind speeds there, Nantucket and Block Island up over 40 miles per hour for sure. The wind gusts will be higher than that. 2 o'clock Sunday, center of the storm off there to our west. So our storm tracker projection here doing a very good job of picking on exactly what this storm will be doing as it moves through Connecticut and continues to head to the north. Notice still some strong winds to deal with on the back side of the storm. There could be some gusts over 50 miles per hour right into the evening hours on Sunday. Then the wind dies down late Sunday night. 6 to 6 forecast, temperature falling from 80 to about 66 by dawn. Tomorrow, if you have some last minute preps to do, not a terrible day, but you may have to dodge some showers here and there. Temperatures will be in the 70s. That rain picking up late tomorrow evening. And here's a storm timeline. Now, these are the peak wind gusts that I'm expecting in the Providence area as the storm approaches. So that's what you have right here. And then I've put the times of high and low tide on as well, or at least generally speaking along in Rhode Island, those are the times of high and low tide. So 7 o'clock in the morning, high tide. 1 o'clock in the morning when the center of the storm, 1 o'clock in the afternoon rather on Sunday when the center of the storm gets closer to us, it should be close to low tide. So that is fortunate. And then high tide again at 8 o'clock in the evening. Notice how the wind slowly ramping down during the evening, but still strong enough to do some damage into the evening hours. Here's a storm tracker 6-day forecast. After the storm departs, it is quiet as can be. So if we have cleanup, we'll have some decent weather. I don't know that it'll be that windy actually on Monday. I'll be taking that windy off of there. I think it's just going to be a mostly sunny day. Might be windy early in the day. Tuesday around 82 and Wednesday rather, high temperature of 80 degrees.
So is it too much to say a smidge of good news in the sense that it's hitting earlier, not at the high tide, anticipating maybe that 3-4 o'clock afternoon hit as opposed to say a 12 or a 1?
Everything that we've seen today has actually been good news, but I'm hesitant to really go full bore with, hey, good news, because we still have either a minimal hurricane or a strong tropical storm heading our way, which is nothing to mess with.
You don't want people to relax,
so
right.
It's better news than we had before, but I don't want people to think that there's something coming that may not knock out power, may not cause street flooding or coastal flooding where they are, because those are still major concerns, and the rain will be wind whipped during the day on Sunday. So it's better news today. Hopefully there's better news tonight. If the storm has gradually been weakening today, it's not showing any signs of strengthening, so maybe we're going to catch a break with this one, but way too early to say anything like that.
Well, you know, I think it's interesting, an indication of just how serious people are taking this. Down in North Carolina, some of the emergency and management officials there were asking people to write their Social Security numbers on their arms, just in case something happened to them. So you know that they are taking it very seriously, that this is a very powerful storm.
Definite hard hit for them, and a very hard hit for the Mid-Atlantic. Talking about 65 million people will be impacted by this storm in the next 3 days.
All right. Thank you, Fred.